Okay, so the first, right there, can you see it? It says Alexander. So do you remember Samuel Alexander?
No.
Samuel Alexander was the first citizen in Hastings. And hi, Jaylee. Hi, Zeta. Can they hear me? Hi, Jaylee.
Hello.
Hi, Zeta.
Hi.
I am actually at the cemetery tonight, girls, because I'm going to show you some tombstones and talk about some Hastings history. Okay? So this tombstone right here, this is the Alexander family. And the Alexander family was Samuel Alexander. He was the first citizen of Hastings. If you read about that in the packet, or if you saw, I'm going to show you his actual, so right here, okay, so it's kind of hard to see, but right there is the father, Samuel Alexander, and that's where he's buried at. The first citizen in Hastings. Pretty cool that his tombstone's here. Then I'm gonna walk over to, I believe if you've been getting the packet, you probably saw this, but it's a big cannon. Did anyone see that in the packet? It's a big cannon.
I didn't see it in the packet, but I've seen it in person.
Okay, so right here, I'm gonna show you. This guy right here, I'm gonna turn. See it? So, this is a big cannon. And it is actually someone's tombstone. And this guy, his name was James Laird. And he was in the Army when he was 16 years old. He lied about his age to get himself into the Army. He wanted to be in the Army. So he lied and said that he was older than he really was. So when he died, well, not he, but his family members decided that they were going to put this big cannon over his body, is buried down under, and they put it over his body to keep him down. What do you think they mean by keep him down? Do you think he could come back to life?
No.
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 He was such a wild man, and he wanted to be involved in everything. That's why he lied about his age. So they put it over him to keep him down. So that's James Laird. And he was a major in the Army. Like by the age of like 18, he had already become a major because he joined so early, lying about his age. You have to be 18 to be in the Army. Well, he lied on the paperwork. Okay? So I'm going to show you this one over here. Okay, this is super cool. So, do you see this? I'm having trouble seeing it. Okay, see right there, it says Clark.
Yeah.
And it's like a lady. Okay, this is actual relationship to Mr. Clark. Related to Mr. Clark. Way back when.
What?
Yeah. So the Clark family, does anyone know where the Kensington is downtown? Well, it's this big building downtown, and it's where old people live, grandmas and grandpas live. That actually, at one time, was a very fancy hotel in Hastings. And there was a fair right across the street. So you know how we go to the county fair in the summer? Well, they had a fair across the street from that hotel, kind of where the city auditorium is. And at one time, they had to take the doors off of the hotel. They had to get the elephants inside that hotel at night because there was a big storm coming. So it was like they had these elephants over for the fair and there was a big storm. So they took the doors off and they brought the elephants into the hotel at night.
That's funny.
So that is Clark Hotel. They were a very famous family. They had lots of money. Okay. Hey, I want to show you something. Nowadays, we don't do it this way, but back then they made a big monument with their family's name on it. And then they had little tombstones for each person when they died. Nowadays, we just do kind of a smaller tombstone for each person when they pass away. I'm going to show you, where did I see that? Look at Cora, here's a Spencer, but I know that they're not related to you. I don't know what they had to do with Hastings history, but
Yeah, I don't think any of my family members are in there.
yeah, because your family's not from around here, are they?
No, they're from Colorado.
Yeah. Okay, here, this thing is huge. You can see this from the street when you drive by. See that?
Oh, wow.
So this actually belongs to the Lanning family. Mary Lanning, the hospital. This is that family. The dad actually started the hospital because his daughter, when she was in college, she came home and she got very, very sick. And her name was Mary. So he started Mary Lanning Hospital because she ended up dying when she was sick because there was no hospital here. So then her dad had money and he started the hospital and he named it Mary after her. So Mary Lanning Hospital. Okay, so that's the Lanning family. The Perkins family, which is Edwin Perkins, and he invented Kool-Aid. They are around here, but I cannot remember where.
Which side are you on?
Oh, okay, here's one back here. This is, it's way, way back here. I'm gonna just start talking before I get there, but it's the Kipp family, K-I-P-P. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes?
I can.
Okay, so the Kipp family, they had a cigar company here in Hastings. So downtown, there was this company, and what they did is they made cigars. And here, do you see Kipp right there? So that was their family's tombstone, headstone. And they made cigars. And you know, back then in the olden days, lots of people smoked cigars because they didn't know that that stuff was harmful to your body. So it was kind of It was the thing to do. Everyone did it because they didn't know the harms. So they had a lot of money. The Kip family. What other questions? Do you guys have any questions so far?
Are any of your family members buried in there?
Yeah, so they are. Like I said, I'm in the old part. So these people died in like 1905. Long time ago. So this is the very, very old part of the cemetery. And in the back, way back there or over there to the side, is the newer part of the cemetery. So like my dad is buried back there, and my great grandparents are buried back there. Maybe some of you know some people that are buried there. Okay. So I would say to you, if you are feeling bored and you need something to do, come walk through here and look at some of those that I showed you, but also look at the dates of when. I'll try and get in close on one. Okay, so in there, I'm gonna mute you guys because I can hear somebody's TV. Okay, so on the tombstone, they have the year that they're born, and then they have the year that they died. So you can figure out by subtracting those numbers how old they were. Unfortunately, a lot of these in the old part of the cemetery, the people were not very old when they died because they didn't have medicines like we do today. They didn't have the doctors. They didn't have the hospitals. This was the time of when doctors would come to your house. So there was like one doctor in town, and if somebody got sick, the doctor would have to come to their house. So if you walk around and look, you'll notice they're not very old when they pass away because of that. Okay. Any other questions? No?
Who was the oldest person that visited?
The oldest person what, Cora?
Who was the oldest person that you showed us?
Well, you know, Samuel Alexander, the Alexander family, they were considered to be the first family here in Hastings. So I would say that they're probably the oldest. There's another cemetery that I'm going to do a YouTube video, if you've been following our YouTube channel, that I'm gonna do that, and you would be able to see a really even older than this cemetery. Who said, can we play a game?
I did.
You did? What game do you want to play? It's kind of hard to play games when we're on Zoom, right? Are you thinking like one of those number games or? No. Okay, well, I think that's really all that oh! Hey, look at this one that I just stumbled across. It says Fisher. Rainbow Fisher Fountain was named after Jacob Fisher, who was the first mayor, or not first, excuse me, one of the mayors in Hastings. And at the time they built Fisher Fountain, it was a drought. There was not much rain. So they built it as a symbol of hope. And has anyone been driving by Fisher Fountain?
No, I can just look through by my windows.
Breck sees it. Breck, it's on, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's on early because right now we kind of need a symbol of hope, don't we, to get through this COVID-19.
I live close to Fisher Fountain.
Yeah, you'll have to walk down and see if it's on. So this is
I've done it. Yes.
awesome. So this is the Fisher family. And Jacob Fisher was a mayor. Okay. Okay, well, I think that is